men who are fit.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Even the other day, I saw a video of I think it was a photo of the Maroon Chief,
Mm.
Richard Curry. Yeah,
Mm.
and Miss Kitty was like, she wanted to move down
Mm.
to what's it called? A punkum town or something like that.
Mm.
Something in regards to that, the
Mm.
Maroon Village.
Yeah.
And basically, all she saw was some abs that Mr. Curry had, and right away attracted to that man. So that's what women tend to,
The New Revolution Podcast.
Welcome to the New Revolution podcast. My name is Carlington Barrett. You can go ahead and follow me on social media, preferably Instagram at Carlington_official. And I'm alongside Mr.
Zane Edrum, right? And you can also follow me on Instagram at IM_Zane168.
All right.
Yes,
So we're here on episode 6.
yes, episode 6 in county.
All right. If you haven't checked out our last podcast, please go ahead and check it out after you finish this one as well. The last podcast, you would basically get an understanding of why he changed his name and, just to support our channel. You're watching right now. I just want you to go ahead and hit the like button and subscribe. Please subscribe. It's free. It's
Yep.
definitely free. We're not charging you as yet. No, I'm just kidding. All right. So, judging by the topic, you would definitely understand that we would be diving into, the whole gender situation that is going on right now. There seems to be some form of tension going on between men and women, as you can
Mm-hmm.
see here in Jamaica, and not only Jamaica, but worldwide, there has been some form of decrease in regards to marriages and an increase in divorce rates. So we'll be basically diving into that further down
Yep.
in the podcast. For right now, I would like to speak on the male's perspective first before we
Right.
even get down to the female's perspective.
Awesome stuff.
So, as you can see, we're definitely dressed differently, seem a bit formal today because what we're trying to achieve is we're trying to make a simple change in society, right? In terms of the young men and, our male figures because, you know, I'm seeing a lot of males, nowadays pants sagging under their butt and stuff like that, and the image of our young men today is not
Mm-hmm.
looking very well. So even if it's only two persons that we can actually change to dress a bit different, because for me personally,
Mm-hmm.
when I dress formal, society sees me different.
Yep.
I definitely get a different reaction in terms of how people talk to me and stuff like that, rather than me dressing, because people who know me knows that I dress like an athlete majority of the time, always
Mm-hmm.
in sweatpants and skinny jeans and stuff like that. But I can definitely feel the difference in regards to dressing formal, and
Mm-hmm.
society is weird. They
Yes,
basically
sir.
perceive
What's up?
you as how
How
you
you
look.
dress, yeah, how you look, how
Mhm,
you carry yourself, your attire, speaks volume,
mhm,
who you are as an individual. And of course, experience situation where you dress formally, step into certain stores or whatever, um, they treat you differently.
mhm.
Yes. So, yeah, your attire, I believe, absolutely speaks volume for sure, for sure. But yeah,
Definitely.
definitely, putting on, and I'm going to use this term, high volume man look. Yeah, so going forward, yeah, changing the wardrobe, looking, fly. That's the vibe. That's the vibe. That's the vibe. That's the vibe. Yep, that's the vibe. That's
Mhm.
the vibe. So-
Well, that song, I'm a classic, man. That's what we're aiming for. We're dressing, basically dressing for
yes.
for success.
Yes. Yes.
So definitely continuing on the male's perspective, um, we do based on our YouTube statistic, we do have quite a number of male viewers, and you know, what I would like to share with them is, based on my opinion,
Mm-hmm.
the age range in when you should basically be doing a lot of dirty work,
Mm-hmm.
layman terms, get the hustle on the road.
Mm-hmm.
You have until age 18 to practically 27, in my opinion, that
Mm-hmm.
you would basically, go out there and grind and try to set your life in a particular pattern.
Right. And I can concur absolutely, because I mean, within that age frame, 18 to 27
Mm,
is an ideal age that you as a young man would basically be trying new things, be failing, learning new stuff along the way, etc. And I ultimately believe that that is a age range that you really put in the grind. You really put in that grind to take your life to that next level. Because it would be, I mean, everybody journey is absolutely different, but with a level of perspective and understanding that, hey, you don't have to wait until you're in your 30s to start trying stuff, that you could actually be doing in your earlier age, right? And by the time you are in your 30s, leading into your 40s, you may would have some level of what would I say now, um, independence,
mhm.
level of feeling more comfortable, with your lifestyle and how you choose to live your quality of life. Understand? So I absolutely believe that, hey, within that age range, 18 to 27, we should be, failing, trying new stuff, should be working.
Definitely. And we have our own share of experience of trials and error,
Mm-hmm.
because I'm currently 24,
Mm-hmm.
you're 27, right?
Uh, I'm not going to disclose my age, man. But yeah, I'm in my 20s. I'm in my 20s,
Yeah.
for sure.
So basically at my age group being 24, from 18 to 24, I've definitely been trying to figure out what I really want to do in life.
Mm-hmm.
I tried some stuff, it never worked out.
Mm-hmm.
Trial, errors. I learned from each one of those mistakes. And at 24 right now,
Mm-hmm.
I still feel like there's room for improvement each time I, try to achieve something and I get there, I always feel there is room for improvement.
Mm-hmm.
So for right now, leading up to around your age, definitely
Mm-hmm.
looking to have my life in check, everything in check. So
Right.
it's the same thing for our viewers, our male, female viewers. Same thing for the female. You do have an age range as well to
Mm-hmm.
to basically get your life in check.
Right. And to make reference to something that you just said, of course, sometimes we may probably even look at a destination, but life, at this point in time, is actually about, enjoying the present, right? Enjoying the journey and not the destination. Because I mean, at X time, we all set goals, you understand? And when we reach that goal, um, there is once you aspire growth, you know, we tend to want to find that next thing to do, want to raise the bar, want to get better. So, absolutely, I would say, hey, enjoy the journey onto, your growth and your development, and, win.
Definitely.
Mm-hmm.
And even for right now, all I can say in regards to the male's perspective is, in layman terms, you'll get that bag, chase that bag.
Mm-hmm.
That should be your main priority at this point in
Level
life.
up,
Level
level
up,
up.
get in shape. Because those are the type of men that certain women find attractive. Men
Mm-hmm.
that are financially stable, men who are fit.
Mm-hmm.
um, Even the other day, I saw a video of I think it was a photo of the Maroon Chief,
Mm.
Richard Curry. Yeah.
Mm.
And Miss Kitty was like, she wanted to move down
Mm.
to what's it called? A Punkum town or something like that.
Mm.
Something in regards to that, the
Mm.
Maroon village.
Yeah.
And basically all she saw was some abs that, Mr. Curry had, and, right away attracted to that man. So that's what women tend to, base their level of attraction from,
Mm-hmm.
being physically fit, being a man of high status and stuff. You're aware of the term hypergamy, right?
Expound us.
So hypergamy is basically, person who tend to marry someone of high stature,
Mm.
whether it be male or female.
Okay.
Basically someone that is way higher than them. So in layman terms, be a girl who basically want a man where probably a big lawyer, and probably she's a cashier at a supermarket, or
Mm.
maybe a man who is a cashier at a supermarket
Mm-hmm.
being with a woman who is a high level lawyer. So
Mm.
in
Interesting.
society right now, we're
Mm.
seeing where women are highly
Mm.
hypergamous.
Okay.
They tend, no matter what they are doing in life,
Mm.
they tend to want that man that is at the top.
All right. And for our male viewers, I'm sure you're hearing that, and it should strike some light bulb moment that, hey, focus on yourself, be the
Before.
finances. Yes.
And I know my Facebook viewers, sees this a lot. I post this a lot on my Facebook wall. So
Uh,
work on yourself, kings.
mhm.
Because at the end of the day,
Mm.
a female will leave you,
Mm.
and go to that person who is up there.
Yes.
And I know some man gonna be like, yo, matter, yo, me can't have nothing and still take a
Mm.
man, woman, or something like that.
And the day
But
what
at the end
comes.
of the day, females tend to go to that 10% of males
Mm.
in society. So,
Interesting.
you know, just a synopsis of, the male development, just go out there, chase the bug, secure your future, work on yourself, get fit, and just level up
Level up.
in society.
What up,
Because
bros?
whether you hate it or not, you can't change society. Society will remain the same.
Mm-hmm.
So it's best to be at the top of society. If if you're very broke at this moment, you feel like the world is on your shoulders, just figure it out. Cause I know a lot of males
Mm.
that came from nothing and they're at the top right now.
Mm-hmm.
So
And just to be frank, and hardcore, go work, go work, go grind, do what you have to do. You understand? I mean, honestly, yes, of course, but do what you have to do. Understand? Get up, go out there, be the first to wake up, be the last to go in bed. Go out there, do something. You understand?
definitely.
Yeah.
If you even have to
Modern time
go,
now.
go stop like sell two banana chips. Just
Modern
have to do
time
that.
now, we don't. Modern time now, I think that as it is right now, anybody or everybody have a fair choice at beating poverty or making it. And of course, everybody's success is absolutely different, right? Everybody definition of success is absolutely different. But a lot of times, you know, people choose the wrong path. People choose to be laid back. People choose to not want to get up and go out there. At the same time, life will end up pass them by,
Mm-hmm.
just like that. So, right on with what you're saying, man.
And definitely, I heard you mention poverty, and
Mm,
for me, poverty is basically a mentality thing.
mm,
Once you make the decision that, hey, you have to make it by any means,
mm-hmm.
you change the
Passing
whole
over
game right there.
opportunities repeatedly.
Yeah, change the
Mm.
whole game right there. So you have to change your mentality. You have to
Yep, it's a
be
mindset.
that guy who always want to win,
Mm.
because no one's going to give it to you.
Mm.
The only only females I see that can basically, have things handed to them without any form of
Mm.
work being put in, just by being pretty. So
Mm.
there's a thing called pretty privilege, guys. So,
Mm.
you don't really benefit from that. So
Yep.
you have to go out there and get it. No
Exactly.
one's going to give it to you. No
Exactly
one's
so.
going to give it to you. So you have to change your mentality,
And it starts from there.
level
Start
up,
from there.
and just be at the top of society.
Mm.
We want to be examples for you guys, and we're not gonna slide back and turn to crofts or anything like that.
Mm.
We're only going up at this point. So in terms of
Mm.
that, we really hope to see
Mm.
some of our viewers
Right.
in.
And just to add as well, um, somebody probably right now watching, probably asks the question, how do we do this? How do first of all, I would say, hey, to change your mindset, it starts from here. You understand? It starts from here. Fix your mindset, and I can encourage you. YouTube is there. Change the game by watching YouTube. Um, there's a book, one book I can absolutely recommend, Rich Dad Poor Dad. Read that book. For sure, I know that your perspective on money may change. You understand? Think and Grow Rich. You're reading that book, your perspective on money change. Right, The Richest Man in Babylon. You read that book, your perspective on money change. So once you can actually change your mindset, that's the starting point to you know your way to some form of financial independence, mental, and then you gradually you will just have to put in the action um,
Mhm.
from the knowledge that you gain to really reach to that stage based on your level of success. Yeah.
So going forward, basically, we want to see changes, even if it's two-person that hit me up and say, yo, bro, I watched episode 6 of your podcast and it really changed perspective and stuff like that.
Mm.
It would mean a lot to me, honestly, even if it's one person.
Yep. That's what's
So,
up.
definitely in the comments if you feel as if this is the new lifestyle that you want to live. You can definitely interact in the comment. um Even personal, you can even message us if you want some form of
Yep.
advice and stuff. You can book a session with us, and we can move forward. We're mainly on social media because we do a lot of digital marketing and stuff like that. So we will see your message. For the ladies, please. All right. So diving into the whole
Women.
men and women tension that is going on.
The war between
War. And
genders.
over the years growing up, all I'm hearing is, man are wicked, and all sort of stuff that we're not doing right and stuff
Mm.
like that. And I always ask myself, what's going on? Is it really our fault? You
Mm.
know, with us as men, what are we not doing right? I did some research and try to figure out what's going on. Listen a
Mm.
few um YouTubers as well.
Mm.
One of my favorites would be Kevin Samuels. A
Mm.
lot of females, don't really, you
Yeah.
know, dig into him because he's a very controversial person. He basically
Mm.
tells the truth, the hard truth.
Mm.
Because, females on the hand, at sometimes they can't handle the truth, and
Mm.
they get into their emotions and feelings and stuff like that. And even right now, people, females who are watching right now would say, oh, them boy are about to start bash women and stuff like that. No, listen, at the end of this video, our objective is not to bash women or anything like that. At the end of this podcast, we are trying to achieve a level of mindset in regards to male and female. we only looking for good results at the end of this, you know, better relationship with your boyfriend or better relationship with your girlfriend at the end of this podcast. This is not a podcast to bash women or anything like that. But
Mm-hmm.
in terms of some of the findings that I got
Mm-hmm.
from my research in regards to this whole situation
Mm-hmm.
is, um, I already checked to see what the males are not doing and
Mm.
stuff like that.
Okay.
But seeing that we been hearing that men are not playing their part in
Mm.
society, I can't really look at just one side of the
So,
story. I have
right.
to look on what the
Oh.
females are not doing as well.
Mm.
So did my research, watch a few videos, see some reactions, and one thing that I can draw from the females side of the situation is they tend to lack accountability in regards
Mm.
to some of the things that they're doing.
Mm.
So in terms of accountability, you know, everything that you might say, okay, you're not doing this right, or you could improve on that. They seem to have some form of justification for the
Mm.
reason. You get pregnant by by a man,
Mm-hmm.
they tend to say it's the man's fault. They don't take any form of accountability in regards to that.
Mm. Interesting. Cool, cool. I mean, well, I can understand, where you're coming from, where that is concerned, because even the other day, having a conversation, with a female, and I was, making mention to the choices that, genders, choose, right? And I was even making reference to female, and that, sometimes I think, females tend to be unrealistic in some occasions,
Hmm.
right? No, mind you, nothing is wrong with, um, dating, or actually dating somebody that has a child, right? No, is it absolutely fair that, all right, I am, let's say, I'm in my early 40s, so to speak, having a six-figure income, no kids, during my age range, 27 leading up to 40. I've been out there, grinding, working hard, trying to build my life, at a level, right? And a woman not saying, well, blatantly, uh,
Hmm.
based on her, um, previous relationship, or let's say relationship that she was in, she never loved the man or whatever, but in return she end up get pregnant, right?
Hmm.
And in a situation like that now, I asked the young lady, like, is it really fair that a man of such status, right? Having everything that he wants, uh no kids, six-figure income and all that jazz, and someone that spend their time, um having multiple relationship, having a child, and somebody of that stature should come and blatantly just choose her other than somebody else that is single, is making, same money just the same, and is it really fair, for that man, understand?
Hmm.
And when we look on it, when we're talking about perspective right now, we're talking about perspective. Females don't look at it in that light. Understand? You believe that, alright, a man of that stature should just come and take you up with your child. Understand? And it's a fair game. I don't think so, right? And a lot of people may not, agree to that notion, but I mean, to be realistic, eh, dating you plus, you know yeah, having your child, and probably, and the funny thing about it too, you have some of those females as well that find a man like that, have a child already, and you're dating a man like that, and you gonna want to give the man wait period, like you gonna have to wait on me, type of vibe and thing, which kind of say to me. But yeah, not to
Yeah.
talk down on the female or anything like that, but trying to bring across the perspective that female, I don't think that they look on it
Mhm.
in that light. You understand? They don't look on it in that light. And the funny thing about it, you ask a female, right? I don't even want to get there, but a
Is it
question I asked the female
yeah, is it the
is
same
about
question
the
that
the
I always
son,
yeah, yeah.
your son, right?
Mm.
Your son comes in with
Will be
a
a
woman,
situation
yeah.
where, because that's the same question that I
Mm,
asked them where, they're gonna tell me that, okay, a man should accept me and my child. So I'm
mm,
saying, okay, for example, let's say you have a son.
mm,
Your son is possibly one of the top lawyers or top
mm,
businessman in Jamaica, right?
mm,
Would you want your son to bring home a woman that has two kids? And they would be quiet for a second,
mm. And
and
then
then they would tell you no. So I'm
exactly.
saying, why should that man do the same for you? Because let me tell you something in
Mm,
regards to kids. You see, when you have a child
mm,
and it's not yours, disciplining is totally different.
right.
They'll tend to be like, you can't hit that child, you can't discipline that child because
Mm,
it's not yours. And you come in and see all a pitney, eat one of your
mm.
gentleman snacks down. Come in and you
Ah.
want to instill some discipline,
Mm,
don't lick me on my father.
mm,
So
yes.
that's mainly one of the issues in regards to this whole stepfather type vibe,
Mm,
so I understand where you're coming from
mm,
in regards to that man in society, as I mentioned, working six figures.
mm,
You do have options. You do have the choice to tend to choose the woman without kids
mm.
and stuff like that. So it's
Right.
not like we're bashing women who
Yeah,
have
it's
kids.
just the perspective
Mhm.
as it relates to how women actually think about it, and not ever to really think from the male perspective.
Mhm.
What does this really mean from the man perspective? You
Mhm.
understand? So it's again, it's not bashing anyone. It's actually looking at it in perspective, right? So that's where we get going, where that is concerned.
And seeing
Yes.
that we're actually on that point, right? We
Mm-hmm.
can even look into the differences in preferences.
Mm-hmm.
Because, female tend to say that, they don't. It's one thing I know for sure in Jamaica.
Mm-hmm.
Straight up, them I tell you, we don't want a short man.
Mm-hmm. Ah.
Hopefully, I'm 6'7", so
Mm.
them I tell you straight, them don't
Mm.
want a short man.
Mm.
In regards
Interesting.
to a male might saying, I don't want a fat woman.
Mm.
The moment you say you don't want a fat woman,
Mm.
them jump at you, them saying, yo, you're body shaming that female,
Mm.
you know, you hate
And people
women.
have them preferences,
Yeah,
basically.
basically. So it's the same thing with status. Women tend to want the man with the money, the man who drive the Mark X,
Mm.
stuff like that. They tend to want a more attractive man,
Mm.
wherein the male basically, we don't care what type of job you do. Men don't really
Mm.
date women based off of their status or anything like that.
Mm.
Men tend to go for women that they seem fit
Mm.
to have a family with family and kids and stuff like that. The preference in regards to body weight, a man might preferably go for a slim, attractive woman. But this is Jamaica, tend to see man say them love fatty and fluffy and all
Guys.
that, tickers and all of them
Yeah.
stuff there. So in terms of even popcorn, I see popcorn, Lizzo the singer, the
Mm.
plus size singer,
Mm.
it's a plus size. yeah, she was crying on live saying that she can't get a man and stuff like that in
Mm,
regards because she basically been going after other celebrities
mm,
trying to get some form of date with them. I see she went to after Captain America,
mm,
Drake, and so Popcorn was saying, "Don't cry, princess. Just come to Jamaica, cause
mm,
Jamaica tend to,
yeah.
we don't really shame pick women or
Mm,
anything like that. We love all types of women,
yeah.
but just saying, in terms of preferences and stuff like that. So there's that slight difference in preferences and
because that's like the biggest question. What do men on a whole want from a woman? And women tend to not know what they actually want. So let's just put it out there. You know
Mhm,
what we actually talk about. So them thing that we want from a woman. And may I go use three examples basically. First one I would say is peace. Second, tranquility and cooperation. When we say peace, bro, you know,
mhm,
a man don't want to come home and basically, in an argument, quarrel with the woman. Them things they tend to frustrate you when it come on to them things. The man really value peace. You get what I'm saying?
mhm,
You know, and, you ever in a situation like that in a your relationship where you just come home and you just want a little space, bro. You want to play FIFA. But
mhm,
no, people, we watch this, especially the men. When they come in and you turn on the PlayStation, you just want some peace. You don't want nobody, your woman come and disturb you and come tell you, say, yo, you're not paying attention and them something. So, you know.
mhm. Personally, from experience, I can definitely say yes. I would confirm to peace being a factor of what men really want, because I mean we don't want to come home to a miserable woman. I don't want to come home to having a long day at work, or long day anywhere whatsoever, and come home and can't have peace of mind, or can't experience peace within your household. That's for me right there is like a major um red flag. Understand? And for me personally as well, I'm a creative, and having a peace of mind helps me to be a little bit more productive. Yes,
Mm-hmm.
so that is something that we really, really, as men, we definitely take having peace as something essential.
Very, very vital. A man will determine, who we want to marry based on, these functions. I mean, sex is important, but, men can always get that anywhere with anyone that they want. So we have to look on things that, you know,
Mm-hmm.
will benefit us long term and, in terms of cooperation as well. A man come and have plans and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
you know, Really want a woman who is willing to cooperate with them and, don't try to challenge anything that he's doing to an extent.
Mm-hmm. Because I mean, at the end of the day, too, it's all partnership. Relationship is more at a partnership. To me, relatively, and even you can even allude to like the Bible as well. There are Bible scriptures. And you said it best the other day. Um, as it relates to Christian woman,
Mm-hmm.
you were giving an analogy. You can share that analogy again. You said that you were having some form of conversation with.
Yeah, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Basically having a conversation, and it's the whole submission thing. Seeing that females having issues with being submissive, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they must say, oh, they don't want no man control them and them are no slave. And you
Mm-hmm.
tend to notice that women, in most cases, modern women nowadays don't want to be submissive. So I always say to them that, all right, you are a Christian and you go to church, you read your Bible, but what does the Bible says in regards to a role of a female? So, well, I hear Bible that. Yeah, man, since you have it right there, just pull the notes, bro. God.
All right. So, as it relates to scriptures, right? And I would draw from the English Standard Version, right? Now, Titus 2, right? Verse 3 to 5 says, older women likewise are to be reverent in behavior, not slanderers or slaves to much wine. They are to teach what is good, and so the young women to love their husbands and their children, to be self-controlled, pure, working at home, kind, and submissive to their own husbands.
Submissive.
Yes, that the word of God may not be reviled. And you have other scriptures here that says 1 Timothy 2:11-15 says, let a woman learn quietly with all submissiveness. I do not permit a woman to teach or to exercise authority over a man. People, this is Bible. I do not permit a man to teach or to exercise authority over a man. Rather, she is to remain quiet. For Adam was formed first, then Eve, and Adam was not deceived, but the woman was deceived and became a transgressor. Yet she will be saved through childbearing, if they continue in faith and love and holiness with self-control. Yes, so there, and then the Bible itself speaks, the Bible itself speaks as this. And a woman, have a tendency to talk about, we can't do it without man, can't do it without man. And Genesis 2, verse 18, the Lord God said, it is not good that man should be alone. I will make him a helper fit for him. You understand? So we're not designed to be alone, bro. It's a whole partnership. Yes. So as it relates to what you were saying, man, the Bible, even the Bible speaks of it. Yes, but our modern women, and as it is, and based on statistics, as well as you were expressing as well, that majority of the females that tend to grow without a father, that is, you were saying that those females,
their mother basically, they grow with their moms. Their moms will tell them to, don't think about a man, don't, basically just go school, get your education, be independent. You don't need no man. So a single mother who already experienced all of that, basically I go try to live fear life through you, and that's not healthy. So if you look on it wherein, a kid grew up in a household with both parents, the father will tend to be the one that will show you that this is the right man for you. Females should definitely look at their fathers and say, my father is a good man to my mom, and this is a type of man I would want to have in my life. So, and the thing is too, if you as a female go and ask your dad for advice in regards to dating or finding a husband for you, you might not agree with what your father is saying, but that man only wants the best for you, so he's going to recommend, a good man. A man is not going, if you know anything about a father, is that they love their daughters. They're not going to tell you to be with someone that they don't seem as if is best for you. So in regards to that, it might not be the man where you have in mind based on your preferences, but it's certainly a man that will run a good household and a family for you. But just looking at it there in regards to even the whole concept of hot girl summer and stuff like that, what they don't really know is that even the person like the Meg the Stallions, the Beyonce, the Cardi B, these women, two of them are married, two of them have kids. And yeah, so the same people that you look on social media and stuff like that. Cardi B who says she don't cook and she don't clean. What they Offset pull a video and go live and say, see there, how that in her kitchen, basically, I sweep out the kitchen. Don't let she fool you. That's what Offset said, her own husband. So you can go look for that video if it's still out there.
Exactly. So because a lot of these young women
misguided, bro.
Definitely misguided. Following social media, following all those influencers, persons who are already married. You understand, living with their husband, have kids, and you out there behaving as a what you want to call it now. I don't even know the right terminology, but it's a whole facade, yes. So where that is concerned, man, we are modern women, hot girl summer lifestyle.
It only lasts for a short while.
Yes.
And if you're trying to attract a good man with that type of behavior, they're not going to take you serious. That's why, as I said, your behavior and things like that, we actually, as men, we sit back and we observe. And we say, this is not the type of woman we would want to wife and have raise our kids and stuff like that. But you have to look on it from this perspective, Cardi B, Beyonce, all of them people, they are entertainers. They are selling a product. They're selling the sexual content for you, the consumer, to buy. They are not living this particular lifestyle when they go home. You, on the other hand, and there's a research that shows that female, tend to be consumers of these type of products. They tend to gravitate towards these products. Music, whether it be music, fashion, and it's just crazy. The behavior right now in terms of modern woman, it's outrageous, bro. Very outrageous. It's like no one is ladylike anymore. Everybody are wearing mesh. You can almost see everybody breast at this point. Men who want women to get married to won't take you serious if that's the pattern that you're going through. And then you say you can't find a good man.
Yeah. And I guess, and as well, what's the terminology now? What you put out there, you attract, basically, So you being out there, wearing mesh wears, startup wears, I mean, by all means, your clothes, you understand? But at the end of the day, you want a good, for this sake, I would say you want a good high value man, somebody that can take you to them family and all that jazz. You don't want somebody to basically pick you up, bringing you to my family looking like
stripper.
So you're right, man. Modern day females, I know they're just doing them thing. They're just doing their thing, and I guess nobody is really looking at it futuristically. Everybody's just doing the facade for today, not thinking about tomorrow, that type of lifestyle. So the onus is on them. Whatever they get, it's just what you sell. What you put out there, what you put out there in the market. That's what you will attract.
Comes back to you, definitely, because into the society in regards to feminism and feminists, they're going to say that they want to be free to do whatever they want, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let's say okay, we give that to you,
Mm-hmm.
right? You can do whatever you want. If you want to sexualize yourself, no problem. Go ahead. But we as men, we don't have to, you know, go gravitate towards that, and then we have to say, all right, um, basically we have to deal with where you give we,
Mm-hmm.
you know. So it's like in regards to like you going out there sexualizing yourself, right? That don't mean I have to choose you. I can choose someone else, and that's where good men actually do. So you're going to have to live with the consequences of these being free thing that you are actually talking about, being free, doing whatever you want to do. You're going to live with that consequence. Everything has its consequences, bro.
Mm-hmm.
So if you want we as a society to normalize that, then okay, we don't have a problem. Do what you have to do. But men won't tolerate it, and you can't force us to tolerate it. Just like how we're not gonna force you to not do whatever you want to do. Do what you want to do, but make sure you can live up to the consequences. That's basically it, bro.
Right. Absolutely so.
But some other factors that I looked on in my research was, even the whole zodiac sign thing.
Mm-hmm.
Women tend to be like, oh, you're a Virgo, we can't work, we're not compatible, stuff like that.
Mm.
And
Funny.
they base their form of standards based on zodiac signs and stuff like that. So they're adamant that they're not going to date a guy because they're this sign, and the stars don't align with this and all sort of stuff. You ever experience anything in regards to the zodiac sign?
Not really,
All right.
honestly. But I've heard about it. I've saw comments about it. I think I even watch videos of genders expressing, as well as Twitter posts saying that if he's not X sign or Y sign, he can't agree and whatnot. So I do hear
You believe in all
someone
of
else
that?
comment. Well, for me, nah, I don't. Um, I don't even read the horoscope. I don't. From a perspective, from a tender age, I tend not to, because it means nothing to me personally. So
My mom don't want to hear all of this. So mom is very heavy on this horoscope thing. She
yeah, it's
watches the
not.
podcast.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
horoscope thing is not for me really. So it's not my thing. But I
Yeah.
mean, just imagine. I'm just trying to think about it right now, putting myself in that position, seeing somebody that I like or I'm attracted to, and I approach that person, and we are having that conversation, and the conversation end up declare my my date of birth.
Mhm.
I'm just trying to imagine somebody telling me that, hey, it's not gonna work because you're a Gemini. Like,
Yeah, because I personally experienced it. There's this one particular female that, basically initially in the talking stages and stuff like that, and it got down to the point where, we were, you know, exchanging our birth dates and stuff like that. And she's like, I'm a Virgo and you're a Virgo. You know what they say when two Virgos collide? And I'm like, what? We not gonna work. It's just not compatible. We are gonna complain a lot. We gonna know each other. I'm like, what the hell are you talking about? And stuff like that. So without she even knowing who I am, my personalities, values and stuff like that, she already, limit
determine
that.
what you are
Yeah,
and who you are,
based
the
off
type of
of a
person you
zodiac.
are.
Yeah, even Drake have a song named
Mm.
Zodiac Sign, and it's the same thing that he sings about in that song. That
Mm.
women tend to blame things on their zodiac sign.
Mm.
So if they do something wrong,
Mm.
oh, I did this because I'm a Gemini, and
Mm.
stuff like that. So I've seen it, bro.
Yes.
I've seen it before. Where a girl might be telling me about her past relationship, and she'll be telling me something like, "Yo, I cheat on him because I'm a Pisces, and I never really wanted to cheat on him." And it's
Wow.
all,
It's
it's crazy,
interesting.
it's crazy,
It's
and
interesting.
it's just crazy. So these are some of the things,
Mm.
because right now what I'm seeing is there's a lot of single women out there saying there's no good man out there and stuff like that. And one question that I always ask is, where where you're really sure that there's no good men out there? Because I mean, I'm in the barber shop. I as men, we tend to speak about these things at the barber shop,
Mm-hmm.
on the basketball court. If we go to a football field after a game, we tend to talk about things like these as men. You know, I have hair, so I go to the hair salon now and then, and I just sit and I hear women, how they talk and stuff like that, and it's completely different than how we talk as men. Because when you go to the barber shop, a man will basically tell you like, "Yo, can't find a good woman, things that me I look for, when I see them in these modern women and stuff like that. Just money them after, you see me I say."
Interesting.
I say, "Yo, child, no, bro." But women will always tell me, them can't find a good man. I always ask them, "Do you know where to find a good man?"
And a follow-up question is, can you define a good man?
Mm-hmm.
I think a few moments back as well, I was having this conversation with a group of females. We went on a little outreach event, and we were just having some conversation, and I was just letting them know certain stuff as it relates to what man thinks or man feel about certain things, understanding the mind of men. And I was absolutely making reference to, can you define what a good man is? Everybody be saying, "Yo, I want a good man." And when I say, "All right, you want a good man, tell me what a good man is. Define a good man. What is a good man?" And interestingly, you know, I
Don't
couldn't
know.
get a response. Understand? So I'm like, haha, you want a good man, and you can't define that what you want. So,
Or even if they do define a good man, it's always surrounded by some materialistic. That man has to have money, has to have a car and stuff like that. So, at the end of the day, that's why men are scared to commit to long-term relationship, because the women are making it based on material stuff and money and stuff like that, and stuff like that. Or even to ask them, where do you find where you think good men are? 'Cause they always end up telling me about some, you know, man that are not marriage minded. And one thing I always encourage women
it's
is
like a
to,
pool of men.
yeah,
Mm.
to go towards men that are marriage minded. I mean, once you enter a relationship, you need to find out what this man wants from a relationship. You want to know if he plans to get married. Try to find all of the red flags and stuff like this. This
Right.
guy is really playing, or is he serious about a relationship? You try to find these things out. Because there are good men out there. And I can tell you this because majority of my friends that I used to go college with, most of them married. And they're in the age range of roughly 21 to 30 thereabout. And even one of our friends in Portland, Daniel's getting married next month as well. So we have another wedding to go. So you females are saying, no good man is out there. Good men are out there, but do you know where to find them?
And as you touched on that, I think another interesting question, as it relates to perspective, is that I believe, Alright, and mind you, again, perspective. We're talking about perspective. We're not bashing anybody, right? Look into this for a second. No, I think there's categories,
Mhm.
right? Pool of man, right, or pool of men that um you would say, so them man they cheat. You
Mhm.
understand? It's there. Statistics show. It's evident that, alright, cool. Let's say, for argument's sake, athletes, right? Um, athletes cheats, right? Just for argument's sake. And understanding that, hey, athletes cheat, athletes are one of them, are those men that cheats a lot. Understand? And as the female, take yourself, out of the many different pools of men, take yourself and jump over this pool of men, and think you can actually somehow change that man in how he is and whatnot, and then end up get the sticky end of the stick most cases. And
Mhm.
it's again, it's just perspective. um Not saying that man should be cheating, nah, not saying that. Yeah, and it can spark a level of controversy, yes, but it's just making perspective on, there is a pool of men.
It'll be like Sierra marrying Future,
Mm,
trying to change Future when Future was already a
mm,
street nigga basically. And
mm,
you see how we already saw that
mm,
Future has like 7, 8, 9 different baby moms, bro.
mm,
And Sierra went have another became one of the statistics
mm,
of several baby mamas that Future has. So a lot of females hate Future. I watched
mm,
an interview with Future where basically they asked him when is he going to settle down with
mm,
one of his baby mamas. He says I can't, because if I settle down with one, the other rest of baby mamas gonna get mad.
mm,
So, the interviewer say, I hate you, Future,
mm,
and stuff like that. But looking on that as well, um, based on my perspective of even a good man,
mm,
you really believe women like good men
mm.
or want a good man?
Um, Good question. And again, I guess it's perspective and
Yeah, because I give you an example, right?
mm,
In terms of like on Facebook, for example, I'm going through Facebook and I see like a female. I'm going through the comment section,
mm,
right? Let's say, for example, a girl named Betty
mm,
posts a nice picture. I go through the comments and, I'm seeing numerous, several, guys saying, oh, you're so beautiful and stuff like that. And,
mm,
lots of good comments. And
mm,
she just liking those comments. She's not
mm,
really, she might reply to it one time and say thank you.
mm,
But here comes me.
mm,
Here comes me. You know who I am already.
mm,
I would say I'm a good man, but at the
mm,
same time I'm a bit savage in a slight way.
mm,
Here comes me with a comment like, "Your elbow black like you need them dry,"
mm,
and she responds to my message laughing and all of that, and
mm,
then we tend to have more conversation. So it's like the guy who you know probably don't mean her good, she tend to move towards that guy.
mm,
I'm not sure. I'm just
mm,
based on what I'm going off of is what I experience on social media
mm,
and stuff like that. So I wouldn't say it would be a good guy, for example. I would say, them tend to say them no on a boring man or stuff like that.
mm.
So
Okay.
that's one way I look at it. Women tend to go towards
Mm,
danger for some reason. They tend to go towards the guy that don't really mean them any well.
mm,
And then here's a good guy over here who, would do anything for them. So that's one way I look at it where, they end up being in toxic relationships or being with the wrong person. staying in long relationships
Mm-hmm.
with the wrong person. You know, even if you listen Twins of Twins before, but one of their one of their volumes, there was this character called Uncle Sax, and Uncle Sax was with a woman named Munchie, right?
Mm-hmm.
And Munchie basically something went on where Uncle Sax and police was looking for Uncle Sax. And Uncle Sax is like a ghetto you, right?
Mm-hmm.
Gunman and everything, the robberies and stuff like that. But him and Munchie they together. And then something went wrong regarding Uncle Sax and the law, and Munchie had a boyfriend named a guy that liked her named Raja. And Raja would be more of a good guy, went to college, did everything right. And she say, yo, she should have been with Raja, cause Raja did have a future and stuff like that, instead of being Uncle Sax. Uncle Sax, she's like, the reason why she said she there with Uncle Sax is because him did dance at the time and he did hype, and like girls them love him and him tend to be with that guy who's no in a toxic relationship. They're not really going anywhere. There's no growth in their relationship. It's like this ghetto type of vibe. You get me? So it's the same example with women choosing the wrong men. And that would lead back to the accountability perspective, where women are, you're just bad at choosing men. The guy that you should be choosing, who means good for you, probably can be a father to your kid and all of that, set up a good home for your family and stuff like that. You don't take that guy. You tend to be with, a man that doesn't really mean much to you because of hype and stuff like that. So, in terms of that, definitely a factor where some females end up with the wrong set of guy. And I look at it as well, some of the things that women also complain about is that, for example, Uncle Sax, them always I get Uncle Sax, only Uncle Sax man in them inbox. I mean, I say, boy, you are what you attract, if you understand the law of attraction,
You are what you attract.
yeah, you are what you attract. So
What you
sometimes I
tolerate.
look and I see they posting pictures, sexy pictures and stuff like that. You are going to attract men who basically only thing they want is sex and stuff like that. So if you put more formal pictures and stuff like that, you will tend to attract men of a different um,
Caliber.
caliber and stuff like
Yeah.
that. So sometimes it's really how you carry yourself, how you put yourself out there to the world. Like you kind of attract those type of men. So you'd have to definitely change how you do things, and sometimes, because if it's one thing, a good man will look at you. Because for example, right, a girl who posts a lot of sexy pictures and stuff like that, if I'm looking for a wife and I look at your profile and I'm seeing that you're constantly posting these type of content on your Facebook, me as a good man, I won't pay you any mind. I'm not going to pay you any mind. I won't take you serious. While the other man who basically would be giving you attention doesn't mean any good to you, because you're putting out sexy photos, and in his head he's like, oh, this girl's sexy, I want to have sex with her and stuff like that. So it's a very tedious situation.
Controversial as well, very. But I mean, I totally understand. I totally understand. You get what you attract. You get what you tolerate. If you put yourself on the market, because I mean, believe it or not, social media is a marketplace. You understand? You have men out there that are preying on women, for sure. You understand? And again, what you put out there, you attract. Understand? So, and again, I would just touch base on there is a pool of men, right? You have different pool of men. out there. So you're putting, up your, sexy pictures and all. I mean, yeah, nothing is wrong with, posting, uh, went on the beach,
Mm.
you did your thing, what you call it, hot girl summer, hot girl summer vibe, yeah, um, you know, but yeah, can understand, from that perspective. But again, you get what you attract,
Mhm.
relatively. So, that's what's up, where that is concerned.
Mm.
Mm,
Yeah, and even well, it's a very touchy situation, and
mm,
it's a broad topic, right?
mm,
And basically, we have to have different segments in regards to that, because I was hoping, and we're going to have a next episode where
mm,
we actually have females
coming on,
coming on to
and
give their perspective
perspectives. Okay.
on this. So,
Makes sense. Absolutely makes sense because tonight we would definitely stir up a lot of
mm,
controversy because females may happy to say, hey, we as men don't know what they're thinking, or
mm.
they might have some form of justification as it
Oh,
relates
we
to
know
that.
what we. If it's one thing, men should know what a woman wants, because we hear it every day. I
Mm,
want a man who can provide for me. I want a man who have money. I want a man who have car and
mm,
stuff like that.
mm,
Women tell us that every day what they want, but do
mm.
they know what we want as men?
Interesting. Well, um, you're watching, so get yourself prepared if you want to be on the next show. you know, Definitely send us, reach out to us, find us on Instagram,
Drop in the comments. Let us
find us
know.
on our Instagram page, you know, New Revolution Podcast, drop it in the comments, right? And definitely let's
Or if
hear
you don't,
from,
if you don't agree with what we're saying, comments as well. Let us know. Give us your perspective on things, and we can have a discussion. Cause the thing about no and these type of topics is that we're not having the discussion. All right.
mm,
So we tend to want to have this discussion so we can come to some form of mutual agreement. As I mentioned in the start of the podcast, this is not um, a podcast
bashing.
to bash women or anything like that, because we did speak about men
Mm,
and what they need to improve on to be that type of caliber of men. But
mm,
as well as you know women and the men, we already heard, we hear a lot of what we are not doing as men.
mm,
So we can't keep it one-sided. There must be something that women are not doing as well, and
mm,
these are some of the things that we're talking about currently on the podcast. But definitely we'll understand, and we on the second episode, it might not be episode 7, could be 8, but we will definitely have female guests who will be on, and we can have that discussion as well,
mhm.
because there's so much to cover in regards to that, and we can definitely understand um for the females as well.
Awesome stuff. Awesome stuff. Yep, absolutely. So, as it is, guys, look out for that episode. And yes, I absolutely will be taking note of the comments, each and every comments that is, to really hear your views, what you think, you know, relatively, how you would think, as well as, you know, the female perspective and my male perspective just the same, right? And so we can at least come up with mutual solutions, um, to help the younger generations as well, and for us to see more good, you know,
Mm.
see less divorce, um, more marriages, more partnerships, men and women partnering for the greater good, and all that good jazz, all that good jazz, can be done, you know, can be done, all hope for glory,
All right.
absolutely.
So, definitely that concludes this episode of the podcast. Please remember to go and like and share the video as well as leaving a comment. Please subscribe because we realize that half of our viewers are not subscribed to the channel. So please go ahead and subscribe and enjoy the rest of your day. And thanks for tuning in to the New Evolution podcast. If you're new to the channel, welcome to the journey, welcome to the movement, and we're out.
To be continued. See you.